Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Lilia, the founder of Stock for Women. So Lilia, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make the first million?
Hi, Harry. Thank you so much, first of all, having me. I really appreciate being with you and with your audience. So here is my 5 steps how I became a self-made millionaire. I actually probably just like you, an immigrant with a strong accent.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am. So I came to America in 2008 without any capital, like literally only had a $600. No friends, no connections, and no knowledge of English even. So my 5 steps achieving my millionaire status was really connected to stock market, and that's why I'm here to talk about it. So here's the 5 steps. First, you need to deal with your fears and procrastination. That's, I think, a lot of the biggest step, and probably half of our battles is in our head. We're always postponing some kind of action to go towards our dreams. And that's why I suggest to deal with the fears. And when it comes to investing, there are like a lot of different fears that we will hopefully have time to talk about. But it's basically fears of being a first-time woman investing, fears of losing money, fears of thinking that stock market is a casino. So that kind of fears you have to deal with. So kind of have a mental clear mindset to start. That's step number 1. And number 2, I suggest for you to actually learn about the stock market, because fear is a mind killer, and if you don't know what you're doing, that's what really stopping you. So you need really to take your time, invest some time, educate yourself, understand how the market works. Then number 3, save some money. And number 4, figure out what to buy. And number 5, automate your investment plan. So this is the 5 steps you can achieve. I don't know, it might take you a couple months to educate yourself, save up money, and set up automatic investment. But once you do it, you will have a long-term strategy, kind of a side hustle that working for you on the side, and that will make you a millionaire if you will stay patient enough and secure your financial future down the road.
So tell us your story. So you arrived to United States and your English was no good. Tell me about it. Yeah, when I arrived to London, the same thing. So you have to start from zero. Yeah. So
yes.
So why you decided to be your own boss, to become? There is any entrepreneur in your family? Do you have any friend? Why you decided to be your own boss and to make money?
Honestly, it's all about like different coincidences in your life. I was freshman year back in Russia studying economics, and there was like student exchange program that would let you to go to any English-speaking country for 1 summer. And my girlfriend was pushing me to go to pick strawberries in England, actually.
Oh, wow. You went with me in London.
I know, but I had actually allergy for strawberries, so that took my path separate from my girlfriend, took me to New York City. And that's how I ended up in the summer of 2008 in New York. And I was working as a waitress in the Russian restaurant, because obviously my English was not good. But one thing I right away noticed, I've noticed that all the best tips I would get they were all from the tables of men who were working on Wall Street. So I was like, I'm studying English there, excuse me, economics there in Russia. I need to be in the middle of action. I need to actually somehow find a way to get into college in New York City, stay in New York City, learn about investing, and this is where I can become somebody in my life, also to be able to travel, and that's kind of very simple connections I made, that all the rich people in New York City work in finance. I should be staying in New York and, giving it a shot.
Working in finance, and maybe you're gonna be rich like them, right?
Exactly. That's basically was very simple.
So what happened? The people that were going to a coffee shop, they were all rich, right? And then they were all investing in the stock market, right?
Yes, obviously. So the idea.
What happened? They become your friends. They talk to you. You see them daily. What happened?
So what's happened then? The decision came easy, but then you have to implement it again.
Absolutely.
So in the implementation was very hard, and it basically tested me, where I called up my parents and I said I'd like to drop out from college back in Russia.
Wow.
And I want to try out life here, and I asked them for money and sending me warm clothes, because that was summer of 2008, and I had to basically.
Wow, you decided that you're not coming back. Oh
No.
That's
yeah. And
how old were you? How old were you?
I was 19.
Wow.
I know.
With 19 years old, I was as determined as you would be a billionaire right now. Yeah. When I had this age, I was doing party and having a lot of fun. Yeah.
No, but I quickly realized that.
Wow.
No, I quickly realized that if I want to be somebody in this life, I have to work hard, and
from
maybe because when
early
you grow
age,
up in
my
a
God, from
developing
19
country,
years old,
you're much more mature earlier.
Oh my God.
I don't know. But then
You were very
basically
mature.
my parents were so
Absolutely.
upset about this decision. They were thinking, what would this young girl do in New York by
Oh, your
herself
parents were not happy.
without much of English? So they actually did, and they cut me off.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you
so
can come
I
back,
was
yeah?
at this point
They cut you off
had
so you
to
can come
work
back,
as a
right?
waitress and then study English, and all getting a credit card debt. While I'm trying to get into colleges. Excuse me, something here.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
You start to accumulate debt because you need to try to
I still didn't. We didn't even talk about investing at this point. At this point, I'm trying to survive, and my mindset. I think it will help your listeners when you're in this tough spot and everything is uncertain and you're scared. I was just keep telling this one mantra for myself. I will just try my very best for 1 year and see what will happen. And so that's what I was doing. I was studying English, applying to colleges, and in 1 year I got into Columbia University.
Wow.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal.
Your parents really want you to go back, yeah? They say, okay, you want to stay there? Let's see how long you're gonna last. No money.
So as soon as I got into university, obviously I had to stop. I took a credit card debt. It was such an honor to be able to study in Ivy League college that I wanted to focus only on my studies. I took as many classes in economics as possible, but I also would sneak out into Columbia Business School, thinking
really?
I'll get an edge there. Yes. So, because I didn't have a capital to start investing, what I was doing during this time, I still opened a brokerage account. I funded it with a minimal balance, and I started trading virtually. Not many people know that even if you don't have a capital, you still can start investing and see how it works, because really half of the
that's the best way of doing it.
And experience in investing comes not only from reading books. Market changes evolving every time. You really need to watch it and understand. For example, you have several of your favorite stocks like Nvidia, you name it, right now it's hot. And you compare how they're moving up and down compared to indices. If you want, I can go deeper. What is it? Indices are ETFs, but the idea is that you compare how the market moves in relation to different stocks. And if you do it every day, just a little bit, I don't know how to explain, you develop some kind of feel for this, but you most importantly, you learn about yourself something. You would learn that with so much risk, so much of your money allocated to certain stock, you can sleep well at night. And when you do it virtually, it's very forgiving. It's not like, so what, for example, if you open an account in some of American brokerage firms like Schwab, you can get a virtual $200,000. So my idea was, I'm like, okay, I'm starting with this capital. Let's see if in one year with all my studies, I can double it.
Double it? Wow.
I got aggressive, like, hello, this is virtual capital. It's like a game. I was trying to understand how it's working, and you really cannot do it unless you doing it. You can read.
There's no other way around.
About it. So that's one of the piece advices I have for people who want to learn about investing, even if you don't have capital and you saving it up, you can already start learning, already start trading, and that's really valuable experiences. And basically all of the very, very famous investors, they didn't learn it from the books. Majority of their experience and success comes from personal experience, because when you have your own mistake, you internalizing it, and you
especially
remember.
when you lose money. When you lose money, you learn a lot.
Oh yes, you remember.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then my path took me to the Wall Street. I was interning because I don't know, because I'm from Russia. People decided that I could be a good oil and gas analyst. So I was interning as an analyst, analyzing different energy stocks. I also had an opportunity to have a private dinner with Warren Buffett.
Wow. When was that? That's amazing.
I know. That also was, again, a coincidence. So when I was in college, I was part of investment club. And what I didn't realize, that this investment club every year would pick one person from each Ivy League college and would take them to the private trip to Omaha, Nebraska, to have a private dinner. And I was pitching stock, and that's how I ended up meeting the legend himself. And obviously that was when I was 21. So obviously I'm like,
with 21 years old, you're already meeting Warren Buffett. That's amazing. Now let's talk about, so what happened with the $200,000 that you start to do it virtually? Do you lose the money? Do you double it? What happened with this?
I actually, so the market that year, I think, returned something like, I don't know, I don't even remember, around 10%, and I only did 2%. I was basically flat. The amount of like trading I did, so it was very disappointing. So that's what I was learned. So, and I also realized that year I was, instead of doing in-depth research, I trying to understand the stocks themselves, I was following expert advice from CNBC.
From the TV.
Smart looking guy on TV, and he's talking about it. And by the time I buy it, it's too late. The train is left.
Absolutely.
Yes.
By the time that they're talking in the TV about it, it's already gone.
Yes, it's already
Way
gone.
too late.
But that's what I did, after college. I worked for over 10 years in the hedge fund industry as an analyst, and I learned how to analyze stocks. And that's what my book is about. But I really simplified it and tried to make it easy, specifically for women, to get started in the stock market.
That's fantastic, and I want to applaud you for that because the I think that women can do amazing in the stock market. Actually, in the investment field, you know, even the minister I interviewed, I think it was like 6 months ago, the minister of finance of Zimbabwe, and he told me personally that in his country they were doing loans for a small business, that they give some money and they lend some money to the people, and then the people grow some vegetables and start the business, and then they pay the loan back, and they say that that all the loans that they had given, the women were paying way better back than the men, and they were asking for more loans and they were paying back. So basically, the women, he told me, we're very happy to lend to women, he told me. They didn't have the same with men, but with women, they were thrilled. They say, yeah, we give them as much money as we can, and we have, because they're doing very well. They are I think
Well,
that the reason is women
that's it.
are, I also met John Gray, is the author of the book Women Are for Venus and Men Are for Mars, right? Or vice versa.
I love that book. It's
Yeah,
changing.
yeah. So I met him. Yeah, so we clearly are different, men and women. However, the thing is that men take so much risk, and they don't mitigate the risk sometimes deep enough. Whereas women, because they're different, right? Nobody's better than anybody. We're just different. I
Mhm.
think that women see risk in a different way of men, and with the right mindset, I think that they can be successful in the stock market. So this is the question: why? Because trading, I agree with you, right? You can be very lucrative, but you need to have a very strong mindset, because some people become addicted to it very, and now you are no betting, you are no investing in stocks anymore. You are betting. It becomes like a casino, and rather than be a place where you have calculated risk. Make sense?
Yeah, so you are spot on. I think there is a huge differences between men and the woman when it comes to risk, and I actually have a whole chapter about it. How
Brilliant.
where I basically being pissed off and disturbed. How come all girls getting the same education, and we as women, as girls, as intellectually equal to men, but for some reason only 10% of all world's millionaires are women? And the answer for this question is this: your answer is that women don't take risk. And that kind of investigation took me to the path of understanding women's fears, what's going on in our head. And I think I want to kind of go over 5 main fears that women have, because that will answer your question.
Go for it. Go for it. Tell us.
Yeah, so now number one fear that all women share, they just feel very uncertain and scared because they never had role models. Just think about it. So in America, women only after war, I don't know, 30s, they got rights to vote. They never had before property rights, owning property. And this is a really crazy statistic. In 1988, the year I was born, that was the first time women in America was able to open a credit card without their husband permission.
1988. Wow.
Yes, yes. So
Wow.
just think about it. Women never been in the control of their finances. So this is naturally. So we're talking about my parents. So if I'm millennial, we're only talking about generation. I mean, this is the people who born in the 60s, yeah? So this is my parents, and by the way, I'm an immigrant. It came to Soviet Union even later, not up until collapse of the Soviet Union, we even had a glimpse of the free market, yeah?
Absolutely.
So in any developing country, it came much later. And in America, it came also very recently. So naturally, if boys growing up have dads that get boys somehow involved in finances, they talk about opening a bank account. Women never had role models growing up.
Absolutely.
So, with this context, it's normal for women to feel uncertain. We never seen, like, for example, like how many girlfriends I have in my circle who have a brokerage account and successfully investing. I'm the only one, honestly.
The rest are boys. Wow.
Yeah, and then honestly, the other thing, there is also some kind of taboo among women to talk about money. It's considered dirty. It's about uncertainty and taking risk. And there is a stereotype that keep pounded in our head that the stock market is a casino. Like you watch a movie, it feels like, oh, you just buy some stock and then you pray. You hope you make a lot of money, but it doesn't work like this. Stock market,
Absolutely.
yes, stock market is not a game of chance, and it's not the casino.
Otherwise, ask Warren Buffett. If it's a game of chance, how come he's a billionaire?
Yes, exactly. So here, this is where my 5-step plan to become a millionaire becomes one of the biggest foundational steps is to educate yourself. Because once you know how the market works, you realize it's not a game of chance. It's based on a tangible reality. Basically, when you talk about stock market, what is it? It's a cumulative perform. What in America, when we think about stock market, it's a index. Most of the time, when you look at TV and they're showing you this chart, it's S&P 500. It's an index of cumulative performance of 500 very best companies in America. We're talking about Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, you name it, the very best companies, Google, stuff that you use every day. This is the stock market. This is the real businesses that innovate, they grow. So when you buy them, like it's not a game of chance. What people afraid of and what they consider a game of chance is when they see a volatility in the stock market. They're seeing it's going up and down, up and down. What they don't understand, if you don't day trade and you just be patient and hold it, stock market goes up on average. Why? Because stock prices of value of these businesses correlates with the profits of the cumulative businesses. So American economy, it's growing, it's innovating, world population growing, they consume more, they spend more. So naturally, that's the reason why the stock market on average returned 10% on average in the last 100 years per year. So that's how you should be thinking about it. And when you know this insight, you're not afraid of volatility. And if I may, I want to explain why is the stock market volatile. Because we know that prices follow profits. That's common sense, nothing hard, yeah? But the problem with the stock market, the profits are they announce only 4 times a year during quarterly results. So you have the other 361 days to speculate and live in uncertainty without knowledge. What are the profits going to be? And that gap of uncertainty create a room for emotions, why people get greedy and fearful, and they speculate and they buy options, they buy it and then they sell it, and then somebody's telling them something else. And all of this nonsense may call it. If you know that why the stock market, so as I explained, why is it volatile? Because of this gap between the release of profits and wait time, yeah? This lag. If you know that, that should give you a peace of mind. So that's one of the reasons why the stocks are volatile. Obviously, there is other big reason why they're volatile. it's underlying performance of individual stocks. Yeah. Obviously, if you take only one company, anything could happen to it. You know,
Absolutely.
you can have a competition, you can have a regulation, anything really could happen. Like your most strategic supplier during COVID could shut down its production and your stock is down 50%. So to deal with that type of risk, individual stock risk, what you do is simple, again, common sense. You diversify. You invest in the
How
market.
much you diversify? You diversified, you pick 10 companies, you pick 20, you pick 50, if you're a woman.
If you are a woman who doesn't have a lot of time, because each stock I consider like my baby, I have to follow it. You know, you can't just buy and forget about it. This is not the...
Absolutely.
So I recommend in my book, which is here.
Yes, and you need to tell us where to buy it, yeah?
And you can find it in the stocksforwomen.com. Sign up for the book. It's coming out September 19th.
19
So
of September.
yeah, so I suggest for busy and conservative women just to buy an index. But then there is also
Just
little
to pick 10 how many companies? 10 or 20 from the index? Or
no,
50?
no, you just buy the whole index, like S&P 500 ETF.
All of them?
All of them, because that's the one I was referring to, gets you 10% a year. But if you feel like you want to be more adventurous, you young and you have extra capital, you can take 30% of your capital. This is, I call, your core investment strategy. Just invest into diversified index, because that will take care of the company specific risk. Let me hold on. I want to really explain the diversification, because I think many people don't understand this word. People use all the time without really understanding it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, for example, when I was studying in Columbia University, they gave us this famous example. So imagine you have a business. You sell ice cream in the park. Yeah, you're doing well, but then when it's raining, you can sell ice cream. Nobody cares about cold ice cream on a cold, wet day. So what you do as a businessman, you diversify, you add an umbrella to your stand and you sell an umbrella. So now when it's raining, you sell umbrellas. When it's hot, you sell ice cream. So here, when I say we diversify two different asset classes, umbrellas and ice cream, they offset each other risk. That's amazing. You understand how it works. So you're averaging out the risk. If some business doing poorly, another one doing well. For example, during COVID, all businesses were struggling. But you know who was doing well? It was energy sector. So if you were unlucky and you didn't own...
Yeah, energy was because energy become very cheap, no? Because the people were not flying things like this, right?
No, but it became very, there was like a point when the market was still
There was
down.
a point I remember that the energy, that the oil and everything was really, really low.
No, it's happened before pandemic. I'm talking about, you remember when the market was down 20% and the global world is reopened from the lockdowns, people start traveling, and because
Okay. Okay.
companies, they were not producing, there is a lack for them to get in and start producing, and world was experiencing shortages. And that one year when the market was down, the only sector that was up that year
Was the energy.
was energy. It was up 65%. So
Wow.
if you didn't own energy ETF that year or some energy stocks, you had Google, Facebook, and so on, like everybody else, you would have lost 30 or 50%, more even than the index. So that's what I'm calling inverse relationship, and that's how diversification works. That's why I suggest, if you're busy and you don't have time to really understand businesses, because when you buy a stock, you become a co-owner of the
The
stock.
business. Yeah.
Yes. So you basically get on their train, and wherever, economic reality or competition they experiencing, you as well will be benefiting from or be hurt as well. Because
So what happened? Tell us what happened in COVID, because in COVID most of the markets went down. So what happened? Do you lose so much money, or you have your stock diversify and you managed to come back quickly?
so this is how
A
you
lot
write.
of people make money in buying stocks during COVID. Yeah.
Exactly. So on paper, my portfolio was down honestly 40%. But during that time, what I did is I took my extra cash that I had. I always have some emergency fund that capital in my portfolio that I keep in the municipal bonds, for example, and I earn 4 or 5 or 8% a year. I take that emergency cash, and when I see the market is down 20%, which is considered the bear market or correction, I come in and I aggressively buying. So that's
That's what
my,
you did. That's
yes.
what you did when the whole world was down and nobody knew when we're gonna go back out of the house and everything.
Why I did this, because I knew how the market works. I knew the history of the stock market, that it always comes back, and it comes back because
It
you
has to
buy.
come back, yeah.
No, it comes back because population is growing, people consuming more. So
The business out there, whatever stock you have, Microsoft, Nvidia, whatever, they might take a hit, but these companies, unless there's something dramatic happens, and they're not going away. They will be around, correct?
yeah, so that's what another chapter of my book. So you kind of, it has different layers depending on your risk profile. One is explains you why you want to buy diversified index funds like S&P 500. Second, it tells you if you invest long term using a dollar cost averaging. This is the idea. If you want, I will also explain. If you do that you get, say, around 10% on average over the 10, if you hold your positions over many years. Then if you want to improve on that, get faster to become a millionaire, then wherever you see market is down 20% or more, you sort of, doesn't matter what the headlines and the news say, you have to come in and aggressively buying,
Yeah, but
double that.
aggressively buy these stocks that they are in the 500 fortune, right?
Yeah, either buy individual stocks or just come in and buy the index. So you see the index is down 20-30%, and you don't want to pick individual stocks. You come in and you buy index. That's very simple strategy. Now, if you want to improve on that returns, get even better than adding during, basically when you're buying during corrections or bear market, you buying on a sale. You buying on sale. Yeah. So if you want to improve on that, then we do what you're suggesting. We come in and buy individual stocks that, can double and triple in price.
But also,
But then for that, you need to read fourth chapter of my book.
we will read it and promote it. Yeah, I'm so happy. I wrote several books. My girlfriend is a book publisher. She will love to have a look to your book. We own a book publishing company. She owns a book publishing company. So we are. So tell us, what was I have so many questions I would like to ask you. So let me go quickly because the broadcast is gonna finish. One thing that I want to ask you is why you decided to write this book?
Okay, because I work in a hedge fund and people know this, I'm young woman, too blonde, to have too much accent, but somehow I made money. Like, I know in no way, any way different than.
Brilliant. I have to say that you're brilliant. Yeah, you are fantastic.
Okay. But in general, I don't think that I'm in any way smarter than other girls, because I don't believe stock market that hard to understand. Once you know what to focus on, once you know
Yeah.
what's important and all this noise, the
I tell
new
you, Lilia, what's the problem? The problem is, yeah, because you things that you're saying is just common sense. For example, if we are in COVID, yeah,
yeah.
well, we are in COVID, but everybody's using Zoom, everybody's using, everybody's producing masks, everybody doing this. Well, these companies that, that using Zoom, or those companies clearly are growing because everybody's using them. So it's like you're talking about offset. Even if the market is down, even if the current stocks you have for the standard companies, because there are companies like Coca-Cola, Disney, Nvidia, Google, Amazon. I mean, there's these type of companies that everybody should have a little bit, because at the end of, but I'm not the expert, you are the expert. I'm just talking on top of my head. But we know there are companies there that has had a fantastic growth over the period of time. Is almost unlikely that the stock goes down. You know what I mean? So the companies that they're gonna keep innovating, they're gonna keep growing, they're gonna be doing mergers and acquisitions and things like that. However, you see when the market take a hit or something, companies that or there is a problem like COVID, like you said.
To buy them. What I suggest is to have a wish list. So there are certain companies you can live without.
Tell us,
Which,
tell us, tell us 10
yes.
at least, so the
So
women listening,
I mean, this is
women
a
pay attention. 10 companies that you can live without. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, but look, like I mean, it's not my original quote. Using a wisdom of Peter Lynch, and he says that amateur investors, even beginner investors, can outperform professional investors because they can wait. They're not relying on hitting some performance goals every quarter. And they just can buy, and they know from the personal experience, like we can't live without Instagram. With
Exactly.
every day there for 1 hour, so let's face it. And then, as you point out rightly, during COVID, we saw that the power of the shift, our life became remote. We can do everything online. I can talk to you from London. So what you want to buy? You want to buy Google, Facebook. They are so large. And by the way, they have capital to kill the competition. They have capital to continue to innovate. For example, Google have quantum computers. They have their own AI.
They have
Uh,
mobile phone. They have this
you
operating system for the Android. They have, you name it. Yeah.
want to buy Amazon because we say in America, this is how things get delivered to us, and the whole
Oh,
thing.
UK also, eh?
Huh?
In United Kingdom also.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, only in America, eh?
but then again, you still need to read my chapter number 4 to understand these stocks. Everybody knows they are the best, and that's why they're expensive. You again want to buy them on sale, and to really understand, are these companies fairly priced? They on sale or not? They expensive or not? You need to a little bit learn about valuation. You have to compare them against something. You can't compare. You have to learn what to look for, what kind of ratios to look for to compare apples to oranges. Because when you have a large company and a small company and you're just looking at the stock chart, it doesn't mean anything. You have to compare price against what? Against profits, and also against potential growth.
Okay.
So that kind of things I talk about, it's a little bit technical. It will require you to learn some financial vocabulary. But I mean, excuse me, even when you go to take yoga class, you have to know all these position names.
Come on, it's better than go and work for everybody else 8 hours.
Yeah, and
100%, 100%,
yeah, I'm so passionate about it. That's
can
why
be
I
your
wrote.
own boss. You can do work from whatever you want. But I tell you the issue, Lilia, that everything that I see in the stock market, right, and everything that you're sharing with us is common sense. But you know what's happening is mindset. I think that you have a strong mindset. I hope that you wrote a lot of mindset in your book. Otherwise, you might need to write another one about the mindset of the trader, because this is where the whole thing goes wrong. Is the people start to
So
don't use common sense, to
yeah,
start to get nervous, to start to sell before to do things like this. And
that's my book I suggest for busy conservative women. Once they learn the basics that you invest long term, invest diversify, do this, that, go in. Right now, we know we live in this golden time. As even 15 years ago when I was starting out, it wasn't available. Now, in any brokerage account, you can automate your investments.
wow,
So do you know that basically what you can do is, I have a whole chapter on this also, where you basically go in, you link your bank account to a brokerage account, and every first day of every month, you automatically transfer your money. Why? Because once you transfer it, you automatically save. So you're not going to spend those money.
absolutely.
You guarantee that investing for your future comes first. Second, figure out, say, 3 indices to buy. So, for example, one index, some kind of dividend paying, another index, 500 best companies in America. And the third index is the tech, for example, because the tech is the future, it's growing.
Absolutely.
So you buy, say, three.
Companies with artificial intelligence and so on.
And then say you put 30% here, 30% here, 30% here, then you automate purchases of each of these 3 indices every month, and it's just working for you. And then maybe you come back once, make sure that it flows very well, and then you forget about it.
Absolutely. That's the thing. The people don't have the mindset to forget about it. The
No,
people, especially boys, I think women gonna do way more than. I
exactly.
think they follow your advice. I would think that women, if they read your book, they all can become a multimillionaire like you. I honestly believe this, because women, they're gonna be very disciplined. They're gonna read the book. They're gonna follow the steps. They're not gonna go crazy.
They go in, they automate, and then life happens because women are so busy and overstretched. We have a family, we have kids, we have husbands. We're trying to be beautiful, which also takes time, and healthy.
Tell me about it. My girlfriend is doing her nails now. Yeah, for over an hour.
I do my nails as well. Like I do my hair. It takes like
Next time, yeah.
one day every month to make sure I am as beautiful as I look today.
Brilliant. Yeah, be beautiful takes time also, yeah. I listen, Lilia, I'm so happy. Yeah. Number one, I think that you are brilliant. I think that you have a very good heart, right? And this is something about the cycle of the entrepreneur. So sometimes when
Mhm.
when we achieve certain goal, we reflect on ourselves, and it's time to go back. So it's time to try to help other people to achieve these goals. And guess what happened? The more you try to help other people there to become a multimillionaire by investing, especially women, you know what happened? They're gonna pay you in different currency. They're gonna pay you in a currency that is love, is appreciation, and this is gonna give you so much fulfillment that you're gonna keep you beautiful, gonna keep you happy. It's gonna keep you smiling all the time. This is sometimes I do this big conference in front of thousands of people, and what often in London, actually when I'm walking in London, it's rare that somebody don't pass by. Harry, how are you? So people can recognize me, and even in the metro, I have situation where the people are there and say, Harry, this is you. Man, I saw you speak. I saw you speak in this event. It was like 1,000 people. You say this, and I follow, and this is my family. This is my children. I have the business. I'm doing well. I follow what you say. Let's take a picture. And I don't even remember which conference he's talking about. I don't even remember. He said, man, I was there. I hear you. I said, where? Which country? When? Yeah, man, this 2 years ago. You remember? You were there. I hear you. I was there in the second floor. And But at the end of the day, you arrive to your house and happy that, wow, maybe you say something that make a huge difference in the life of someone.
I'm not a multi-millionaire, but I want to tell you, I live very comfortably. I live on passive income. You go to social media, it's filled with people like talking about side hustle, how to be an influencer. Why to reinvent the wheel? Already have a stock market. You can be co-owner of the very best companies in the world, get dividend, then capital appreciation, and even build enough portfolio so you can live off passive income. It's a fabulous hobby, beautiful hobby for any woman to have. And I'm strongly encouraging. That's why I'm like passionate. There is no shortage of profits for all women there. We're so underrepresented. Like for me, opening up what I'm doing is like, okay, just the problem is that I can talk about it many times. There are a lot of smart people talking about investing, but many people just don't go and do this first step. So that's why, let me tell you it again. You should just go and do it.
Thank you so much, Lilia. And for all of you following this podcast, Unstoppable, see you in our next episode. How brave entrepreneur like Lilia break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.